Ladies and gentlemen, Primetime CP23 here, back with another Diablo 3 video. Today, we'll be taking a look at the Jade Harvester Starter Build Guide for Season 13. This one is kind of a weird one. Because of the nature of the spell Haunt, it seems like about half the time this one-shots elites, and half the time I have to stand there and cast Haunt for 15 minutes. It just depends. We're jumping into this rift. I'm about 80% through it. A little over 80%. Just because this build, it takes a little bit longer to clear out the area. It takes a little longer to get anything done. So I went ahead and did a little bit more of this rift than what I had been doing. So as you can see, we are pretty much casting Haunt at all times. There you saw it just kind of popped that elite right off. For groups of trash, we're using fire bats with the vampire bats rune. It seems to clear out the trash pretty well, while at the same time being easy to maintain because of the lack of mana needed to continue channeling it. So it works really well to clear out trash. It's not as strong as the Cloud of Bats rune that is typically used in Greater Rift pushing builds and with the Arakir's Fire Bats build, but it does the job pretty well here for a GR20. I'm gonna die. I didn't. So here's an elite. So we're going to go out of our way to try and just pop this elite real quick with a Haunt. And hopefully the elite will die. There he goes. And there's the boss. So we'll kind of focus on the boss. And there you go. That's what happens. Single target damage, OP. No doubt about it. As soon as I get these gems leveled real quick, we'll head back to town and we'll kind of go over the skills and armor and everything. As always, marquee level gems only. No legendary gems, all gold or rare items, except for the set pieces. All of my other Jade pieces are ancient. So kind of do what you can with what you got, you know? So I'm only running 3 set pieces plus a Ring of Royal Grandeur in the cube to get the 4-piece bonus. Yes, I realize you won't have a Ring of Royal Grandeur when you're clearing your GR20 solo, but you'll just wear a 4th piece of the set. It's no big deal. I just have decently rolled stuff, so I wanted to make sure that I'm only using 2 pieces. As usual, we're using 1 beneficial item, and that is a Sacred Harvester. It's not even really that beneficial. It just gives us some extra toughness because Soul Harvest doesn't do any damage when you only have the 4-piece bonus of the Jade Harvester set. Soul Harvest doesn't do any damage. So it's basically just a toughness boost. It's a speed boost. But then, of course, Goldskin does nothing, and Ring of Royal Grandeur, as I discussed already. As for the skills, we're going to be using Haunt with Lingering Spirit. This is going to be our primary damage dealer. The reason we choose Lingering Spirit is because I'm lazy. And when you use Lingering Spirit, if there's no target around, you see the spirit just follow you around for, I believe, up to 10 seconds. That makes it really easy. That means when you pop into the Rift, you can just cast a few Lingering Spirits, and then you'll be good to go. As I discussed, we're using Fire Bats with the Vampire Bats rune to burn down big packs of density. Like I said, it doesn't do as much damage as Cloud of Bats, but because we have no real way to mitigate our resource cost, Cloud of Bats, you run out of resource really quick. And we're out that quickly. So Vampire Bats kind of helps that problem by having a higher initial cost, but then there's no channeling cost. So Soul Harvest, because of the 4-piece bonus of Jade Harvester set, you get all 4 or all 5 runes. So it doesn't matter which one you pick. I chose Hex with the Jinx rune because it turns everybody into pigs, which is fun. And then it also makes enemies take more damage. Piranha to group enemies up. Same idea as Hex. Basically, just gives you 2 different ways to make your opponents not able to hurt you. You're kind of squishy. You're not just ridiculously squishy, but you're kind of squishy. And this is a good way to... And having both of these skills that can make your enemies not be able to hurt you is really helpful. Then, of course, we're using Summon Zombie Dogs with the Lifelink rune, so that 10% of all damage done to us is instead done to the Zombie Dogs. So that's always fun. As for passives, we've got Spirit Vessel for the cheat death, Rush of Essence because it returns 100 mana over 10 seconds. Haunt is one of those spells. So, basically, you're always at pretty close to max mana in this build. So that's very helpful. Then we're using Confidence Ritual to deal 25% more damage to enemies within 20 yards. As you saw, it's a pretty up-close and personal build. It's not exactly a melee build, but you are kind of up in their face, up in the enemy's face at all times. And then we're using Pierce the Veil. All of your damage is increased by 20%, but your mana costs are increased by 30%. Well, since Vampire Bats is really our only spender, I mean, Piranha is a spender, but because we're casting so many Haunts, it completely mitigates the negative of having this increased mana increased mana cost. So Pierce the Veil is definitely a strong choice for a build like this that uses basically a generator. It's not really a generator, but 50 mana is such a low cost when we have 870 mana. Plus over 10 seconds we get double that mana cost back. So it evens out. You never really have mana issues. As you can see, you can stand here and cast all day. As always, only 50 Paragon points used. Those 50 are in movement speed, nothing beneficial. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That was a Greater Rift 20. We did not really have any issue with it. It took a little bit longer than some of the other classes can do it in, but at the same time, we basically one-shot the boss. So that means basically if you can get through the GR20, you're going to be able to climb significantly higher just by adding the full 6-piece bonus for Jade Harvester, because it's going to give you additional toughness and you're going to be able to just nuke enemies. So once you get your 6-piece bonus for Jade, you're going to be rocking and rolling. It's going to be really fun for witch doctors. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, this is Primetime CP23, and I'm out.